Negativity bias. I cannot write this book on therapy without writing about negativity bias. I just happened to be reading a book at the moment about statistics. The book is called How to Make the World Add Up by Tim Harford. Quotes Donald Trump's former right-hand man Steve Bannon as having infamously told the writer Michael Lewis, the Democrats don't matter. The real opposition is the media. And the way to deal with them is to flood the zone with, and I won't quote the word I've written on the page here. And it's true to an extent. Media do provide us with a lot of information. Some of the reports can be interesting. And some of them work with regards to what is known as negativity bias. Negativity bias means that we only hear the worst information. Someone has stabbed someone, a terrorist attack has happened, war has been started. Something went wrong at work, such as spilling coffee over ourselves or our boss. But the rest of the day went well. We remember the bad, not the average, and even the good. There are, in fact, other reports in the media. There are reports of how the future might be, or of a new way to make rice pudding. We think of these things as everyday things. If this affects you, negativity bias, I mean, feeling unduly down or worried by world events, it might be advisable to stop consulting the news, to stop accessing some social media accounts. It can affect people with mental health problems to regularly hear negative news. It exacerbates their worries. It generates the automatic negative thoughts, PAN, PANs in French, Italian, and Spanish. On top of that, they are not even personal worries. They're things that people can do nothing about. What we need is pats on the back, positive automatic thoughts. This may seem radical not to watch the news. The disadvantages are that you may not be able to comment on what the King of England is up to in conversation or other things, but overall, for your health, it may be better. Consider whether you listen to the news at all, when and how much. Other people will usually tell you something important has happened. Other people will usually tell you something important has happened. It took me nine months to realize that having stopped consulting the news and listening to podcasts on specialist subjects, that I was already, sorry, it took me 9 months to realize that having stopped consulting the news and listening to podcasts on specialist subjects instead, that I was interested in, made me realize it was a much more healthy option. There was something major, like a virus spreading quickly, I would hear about it through word of mouth. Also, someone with a mental illness or a psychological illness, or whatever you want to call it, if they do something extraordinarily bad, we hear about it. It does not follow everyone diagnosed with a mental illness or a psychological illness does do extremely bad things. This is part of the news, though, too. Not watching the news can put you into a situation where you're confronted with the bad news about other people. You're not those other people. You're yourself, your values, and your beliefs, as I mentioned earlier. Maybe if we looked at the statistics, we would see that a lot of people with mental illnesses turn to blogging, writing books and poems, doing arts, improving things in mental health hospitals, mental health advocacy, or public speaking. The everyday things are often not reported. Negativity bias is not covered in cognitive behavioral therapy, but not discounting the positive, as it is usually called, is a heuristic, a shortcut in thinking, and a guideline. Don't discount the positive. Be grateful for positive things in the world. By selecting carefully the media content that we consume, or not watching the news at all, we can lessen and even completely eradicate the daily exposure to negative current affairs news that we hear. Listening to podcasts instead is a great way of doing this.